my name is Gunther Wellenstein. I am the Solid Waste and Recycling Coordinator for the City of Lowell. Today, we're going to talk about recycle right. The state of our environment is becoming more and more unstable, and finding ways to reduce, reuse, and recycle has been on people's minds a lot recently. And this is great. Everyone should take the time and effort to integrate recycling into their lives. But it's also important to know how to recycle right. When we put the wrong items in the recycling, there can be all kinds of problems once these items are brought to the material recovery facility. These problems can slow down the sorting process, damage machinery, and even cause injuries to the workers. Also, many may have heard in the news recently that countries like China have stopped taking America's recyclables altogether because of the large amounts of non-recyclable items mixed in the recycling. Due to the lack of demand, American recyclables have even become less valuable. Some people have given up recycling altogether because it seems just too difficult and pointless. But instead, we should take this as a call to action to practice better recycling habits. We should all take the time to learn what can and cannot go in the cart and what to do with the items that do go in the cart. The Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection Recycle Smart Initiative has partnered with the City of Lowell Solid Waste and Recycling Office to provide resources that everyone needs for recycling basics. Let's take a look at a video from their initiative. As we just saw, a whopping 95% of Massachusetts residents report that they recycle. Hopefully, we can bring that number to 100%, while also making sure everyone is recycling right. So there were a couple of follow-up questions from the video and from the survey. Imagine 5% of the recycling public was wondering if it's really worth recycling. And in short, absolutely it is. Of course, recycling is beneficial to the environment. By recycling more, we reduce the amount of trash that ends up buried in the landfill or littered on the streets, forests, and bodies of water. All of the trash we generate and pollute into the environment has detrimental and deadly impacts on wildlife. Birds, fish, turtles, and other animals often mistake pieces of trash for food, destroying their health and starting a trickle-down effect on the health of the rest of the ecosystem. Recycling more cuts down on the amount of waste a town or city generates, and reducing waste disposal costs while increasing revenue from solid waste recycled items. In addition, recycling programs create jobs, so recycling is not only economically worthwhile, but also environmentally worthwhile. Another follow-up question is, what happens to the material when it's taken from your curbside cart? Once the recycling is picked up, it is taken to a material recovery facility. For the City of Lowell, that facility is in Billerica. Here, the goods are poured onto massive conveyor belts. Workers then must sort out non-recyclable items by hand. Recyclable items such as paper, cardboard, metal, glass, and plastic containers are sorted mechanically. Then, these materials are compressed into large bales and sold on the commodity market. When non-recyclable items end up making it past the sorting workers, the machinery gets jammed, slowing down the process and, most importantly, increasing the cost of recycling. Let's take a look at another video from the Mass DEP Recycle Smart Initiative to get a better look at where your recycling goes. What can you do to recycle better? There are several steps you can take to recycle better. First, make sure you know what you can and cannot put into your recycling. In general, remember that most bottles, cans, jars, jugs, and paper can always be put in the recycling. If you're not sure if you can take an item to recycling, make sure to check first. You can use the recyclesmartma.org recycling guide or on lowellrecycle.org the A to Z recycling guide to check if any item is recyclable and how to recycle it. Then make sure your recycling is prepared properly, including emptying and rinsing containers, flattening boxes, and leaving your items outside of plastic bags, which cannot be put into the regular recycling. Instead of putting plastic bags in the recycling, reuse them or bring them to the collection site. Most grocery stores accept plastic bags and film for recycling. Although it's great to recycle as much as possible, this is not true. Items with the green arrows can be recycled, but this does not mean it can be put into your curbside recycling. Certain items cause problems at the Certain items cause problems at the material recovery facility, like plastic bags, which get stuck in the machinery during sorting. If you're not sure whether an item with an arrow can be recycled in your bin, check the A to Z guide at the lowellrecycle.org website. Bulky or hazardous items should not be put into your recycling, or even the trash for that matter. These items could include aerosol cans, which is hairspray, paints, some scrap metal like old lamps and bed frames, even batteries and propane tanks, electronics like television and toasters. There's a full list of items available on the lowellrecycle.org website. Approved items can be dropped off at Lowell material drop-off events that occur once a month, or even the Household Hazardous Waste Day. Check the lowellrecycle.org website for more information. If you cannot make it to the Lowell Collection Day, Lowell residents can bring these items to other drop-off locations in the area. Lexington Minutemen Hazardous Regional Facility in Devens is also open. Bringing items to these locations may require a non-resident fee. Metal, food, and beverage cans, however, are certainly able to be collected in your recycling. So, follow-up question. I have a variety of different metal, food, and beverage cans. Can those go into the recycling? Some of these belong and some don't. Some of these items are different from metal and they should not be put into your recycling. Here are some items that definitely do not belong into recycling, and these should be put into your trash. A lot of metal items can be put into your recycling once they are prepared properly. Once you know you can put them into your recycling, all you have to do is empty and rinse and put into your recycling. You can even recycle the lids to your cans and even leave wrappers on. So all of these items can be put into your bin, and all you have to do is empty and rinse. It's extremely simple. Just empty and rinse. When food waste is mixed in with your other recyclables, the quality of the items go down. Once recycled items are sorted by material type at the material recovery facility, the items are sorted by quality. Dirty recycled items are of lower quality and therefore are sold for a lower price, which drives up the complete price of recycling, and the city reduces its revenue that it could bring in. Lowell residents and many other Massachusetts residents can actually have a fine for improper disposal of recycling. Putting the wrong items or incorrectly preparing items in your recycling, currently the standard offense is $25 per violation, but fines for bulky items and electronics can be as high as $200. Fines, for recycling and offenses include bagged recyclables, plastic bags, food and other liquids, clothing and linens, and importantly, our tanglers, electronic cords, strings, ropes, chains, hoses, and other items. Big items, like pillows, hazardous items like aerosol cans, and rechargeable batteries and paint are also finable. If you do receive a fine, you'll probably get an oops tag on your recycling indicating what items did not belong into your recycling. Of course, nobody wants a fine, but there are easily avoidable methods if you recycle right. If you're not sure what is your collection day, you can easily check the collection schedule at lowellrecycle.org. You can search for your address and the page will print out a calendar specific to your schedule. You can also download the free Recycle app on your smartphone. Works on the iPhone and on the Droid to view your collection day and choose the recycling updates. Again, don't forget to follow Lowell Recycle at Facebook, on Twitter, and on our YouTube channel for more tips, news, and updates. Remember these general rules to make sure you aren't just recycling, but actually recycling right. Keep these items out of your bins: plastic bags, tanglers, clothing, bulky items, and hazardous waste. And don't forget, most bottles, cans, and jars, jugs, and papers can be put into the recycling cart. Empty and rinse before you put them in the bin. Empty, flatten, and fold cardboard so that you'll have more space. And if you're not sure if an item can go in, check the A to Z recycling guide at lowellrecycle.org. Thank you for joining us. This concludes another episode of Recycle Right.